Hey, I'm Rob from JestaThaRogue. This is my very quick first impressions of Push It, which is a 10-minute dexterity game for 2 to 4 players where you have 2 discs and you're flicking them towards a puck, and if you get the closest you get points. And what you do is you put the puck in the middle of the table, then in turn order, clockwise around the table, everybody's going to flick one puck at the jack, and you put it on the edge of the table, kind of in your area where you are sat around the table. And you can flick it, you can chop it, you can punch it, you can put it into the middle of the table however you like, as long as you're flicking it or pushing it from the edge of the table. And once everybody's done that once, you then put your second on the edge of the table and you hit it, but this time it's going to go in order depending on how close you were the first time round. So it's kind of like golf. If you're furthest away, you will go next until everybody's flicked their second puck onto the table. And once everybody's flicked 2 pucks onto the table, the round will end. The round can also end if somebody knocks the jack off the table. If they flick their puck hard and knock the jack off the table, they will lose 2 points. And the round will end immediately. You just start a new one. You can go into negative points, but if somebody doesn't do that, then you do the normal scoring. How this works is you remove the puck closest to the jack, that player's going to get 1 point. If their second puck is the next closest to the jack, they're going to get a second point. But only one person is going to score each round. And that is pretty much all the rules, except for the one rule, which is the best rule in any game ever. It's called Bumshuffling. That's what it's called in the rulebook. It says players cannot move from their seated position to get a better angle of attack. Leaning/cheek lifting is allowed, but there is strictly no bum shuffling or chair moving. What a great rule that is. And what a great game this is. It's very simple, it's very cheap, it's very small. It comes in a little cardboard box, but inside that cardboard box is a bag, so you can just stick these discs. There's only, 9 discs? 2 per player. It plays up to 4 players and the jack. So there's only 9 discs you can put in this bag and just stick it in your bag and you go to any game day. It plays well on any surface. I can see it being played on pizza boxes, wicker tables and stuff like that. And it seems to work quite well no matter what the surface is, because the discs are quite smooth with round edges, so it just seems to work. And I always say the best filler games are those that you can teach very quickly and you can end at any time and still have a decent game. You don't have to play to completion. We played the first player to get 7 points is going to be the winner. I don't know what the official rules are. It doesn't say in the rulebook. The rulebook just says it's your game. These are our rules for playing, but you can create your own house rules, do whatever you want, which is cool. And it's just one of those games that you can just teach and play. You can say, okay, we'll keep playing, and when Clive walks through the door, that's going to trigger the last round. Whoever's got the most points then wins. And that's a proper filler for me, because that's actually filling time. It's not like when people say 7 Wonders is a filler. If you play 2 ages of 7 Wonders, you're going to want to play that 3rd age if you're doing well, because you're going to want to see how the game plays out. So games like this and Love Letter, you can finish them at any time. It doesn't matter because they're small rounds, round after round. So yeah, that works for me. Love this game. It's great dexterity game. Quite frustrating when you get it wrong. And I'm sure it's quite frustrating when you're in the lead and everybody's trying to try and screw you over from getting that last point to win the game, as happened in our game. But it was a lot of fun, very cheap, portable, accessible. That is Push It. Remember to like, share and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at JTRPodcast, to find the blog and podcast at jtrpodcast.com. I've been Rob, aka JestaThaRogue, and I'll see you soon.